Hey everyone, it is February 4th. I'm sorry, no, March 4th. Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. Said the wrong month, right, Cirilla? She's already up here. Just going through her little thing. Oh my God, I'm trying to get up to take that overlay off. All right, hello, welcome. New show, new week. All right, you can see my comic pages back then. Studio's slowly getting cleaned up. I've got cat hair in my mouth. Yeah, I've got a lot of projects going on, and I'm trying to get things cleaned up for some more stuff to get done over here. Anyway, yeah, just got done with New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival this weekend, and I've got more coming up for this next week. It's the Gothic Market by Grimoire Studios. That's where I'll be on Sunday. I actually have a Saturday off. Maybe I'll get to have some fun or do something nice. And then where am I after that? Following week is Monster Mania. So yeah, March is going to be a fairly busy month, but not too bad. I'm not traveling too much. Only one weekend. I'll be up in Massachusetts. Anyway, even though Cirilla's here, say hello, Cirilla. Yes, hi. Let's get the. Yep. Oh, I did it right that time. This is actually a half-finished page from A Kid in the Comic from months ago. I've been a little bad. I'm supposed to be back on that, and I haven't been on top of it lately. But I have some other pieces I got to get done, which I also haven't finished because I don't know what's been going on this past week. I feel like I've been working a lot, and not enough has gotten done. But I was working on these during my Whatnot show, which I do Wednesdays from 6 to 10. But those are getting a lot of commissions, so it's not surprising entirely that I'm not getting a lot of work done on those. So I got to make sure I'm doing work on these here. Anyway. Lady, don't knock this over, though. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm afraid she's going to take that out. I really need to get like a sandbag that I just keep in the apartment for when she's up on the table like this. Anyway, I've been kind of a little bit distracted before I got onto the show here. Not surprised. Anyway, yeah, so I'll probably be working on a couple of these things. As usual, I'm still not even done with those Orlock pieces. I can't exactly explain why, because I definitely have been working. It's not a matter of that. Oh my God. Okay, Cirilla, we're going to calm it down a little bit. Maybe I can get some work done. Maybe. I would like to first measure out these comic pages, but I need you to just relax for a minute. Just relax. Shh. No comments, right? No comments. All right. All right. She'll be done in a minute. Anyway, I already went through 2 of the shows. Like I said, Gothic Market this weekend and Monster Mania next weekend. And then I'm doing a comic show in Danvers, Massachusetts. That one's going to be toward the end of the month. My friend Tim Jones is doing it. And also my friends Carrie Ann and Steph Wilson from Bad Carrie Studios will be there. What is that one? That one is Super Retro Fest. Yes. Super Retro Fest. Which I'm even billed as being there, which is rare. And then I'm doing EcclesiaCon in Palmyra, New Jersey at the end of the month. Hey, Jim, how you doing? As usual, I was thinking about you going into this, not just because you're I want to say recurring character, recurring viewer, but also, yeah, I started confidently translating my part of the Chadiana comic that I've kept just hanging out, finished and unreleased. Um, there was one whole page in one of the languages that basically all this nonsense has been in service of. But yeah, I feel like I confidently worked out the one system to be Arabic enough, and then got the other system to be Semitic enough, and then yeah, that um, sort of what am I trying to think of? Ancient Egyptian system. I had a lot of freedom with too, so I figured out how I wanted that one to look as well. So I started translating bits of it and then decided while I was translating the one section that there really was another section uh, of the oh my God, Sarah, hello. Of the comic where I felt the one character should also be talking in that other language. So I added that also to my translation notes. But you know, what's funny about it. And thank you for the congratulations. Yeah, it is quite an achievement because, 3 years is a long time to wait for an issue to get out when it should have just been out. But I also should have just taken all this time to work on the languages like that. But yeah, I feel pretty confident in the system now. Because again, it was very hard sometimes to work in like say right in present tense or something and just be like, yeah, okay, so this is what it's going to look like and not work out the whole system of like verb usage around it, what a non-passive sentence might look like or what a question might look like. Everything was just way too all over the place. And now I got a really good idea. Of course, those were all Semitic languages. So now I got to work on the agglutinative languages next. And then at some point, I got to tackle those others. Arabic, I could probably put out off for a while, but the Sino-Tibetan and the Indo-European branches are going to come in soon enough. So again, I'm trying to work on it this week full time as well, since I didn't get as much time in January as I wanted. But then once this week is over, I really want to dedicate the time back to writing, and then I'll still try to either do once a week with like 2 to 3 hours on that day, or I'll try to work like an hour a day on it. And then, who is that? That was Holly. Okay. Just trying to see who's liking my page. I mean, who's liking the video. Anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, it's come along good. I just feel stupid that I didn't take the time before. But as you know, Jim, I was overthinking everything. Cirilla, it's a ruler. I don't think you really want to chew on it. Oh, hey, Rob. You don't have to treat it like you're lurking, though. I hope everything's going well. I know that I've been putting out a bunch of updates finally on. Sorry, she's chewing on this and it's making me, it's distracting me a little bit. I know that what was I going to try to say? I put out a few. Lady, that's really bad for your teeth. It's metal. You have such pretty teeth. What do you want to damage them for? Anyway, yeah, I know. I know. I finally put out some Patreon updates, so I had you guys waiting on those a little bit too long. What am I looking for? One of my pencils that I left back there. Oh my God. Yeah, that was good. just blow it right off the table. I don't know that I'm going to work on the comic pages today, but I feel like if I actually get these set up, I will work on them tomorrow. Like I am supposed to be working on them. Just lots of bad decisions. Bad decisions in the sense that I just really should have been working on a kid in the comic, and I put it off. And I meant to reach out to John, the publisher, today, and I didn't. So I have to hit him up tomorrow and let him know that it's late, very late, but it's coming in. But again, I might not be able to work on it during the show because I won't spoil anything. But I just want to set up the page, and then I'll work on some of those other pieces. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well that is watching and tuning in. Excuse me if I check my phone a bunch. The real estate on my board is not very good at the moment. Should be making better decisions there too. So, yeah, right. It's a funny thing I realized recently when sometimes when my neighbor comes home, I really think somebody's unlocking my door, and I'm thinking, who has the key? Because I'm here. But yeah, it's not me. It's not my apartment. Anyway, lost my train of thought. Right. It was a funny thing. I was reading The Goon months ago and looking at the page layouts and the margins on his comics, on Eric Powell's comics. And I thought to myself, wow, that extra margin looks really good. Why is he getting that extra margin? And I was looking at some other comics and I was like, oh, he's not the only one. So I was checking some measurements, and there was one measurement I was leaving off of my pages, which, though still technically correct, it was not allowing for the bigger margin that I would have liked on it, you know. So I think, yeah, I should have done the lines a little further up, because that is not correct from that one. Anyway, it's only like a 1/4 inch around the edges as far as I can remember, but it does make a difference. I love that I look like a ghost when this is happening. Only because those lights are so bright, but hey now, what's going on there? Why is this one so much shorter than the other one? It's not quite 17 inches. That's really going to throw me. Hang on now. I keep forgetting this measurement. I do. Because it's now different than the measurements I had before. I think it's just an extra. I think it's just an extra 1/4 everywhere. Or it's just extra on the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it can't be on the bottom, though, because it becomes like a... Oh, man. Oh, I'm losing it. I'm really losing it. What's going on here? Hey, Cirilla. Cat's gonna fight me. Cat's gonna fight me. 1. That's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna chew the wood on a pencil. Okay. Well, I kind of need you to move over a bit. Right? Because I do need to work over here, lady. I don't think that measurement's right now. Here we go again. Me double and triple checking measurements. The time of everyone's life on these shows is just watching me second guess every line I put down. You know what I do? I'm just going to put in the regular lines and sort it tomorrow. Anyway, so yeah, expect bigger margins on my comics soon. What do we got? Yeah, she does books too. She loves books more than I do. We both consume them. I just think my cat has lost her mind. Anyway, though, which kind of reminds me, I have decided I'm going to get rid of my part of my living room furniture. I thought when I moved to this apartment, it was going to be more temporary than it turned out to be. And yeah, I also need to make room for more bookcases because I got 3.5. You can see one of them behind me over there. There's 2 over there. And there's a half one over there. And I only say a half one because it broke during a move. So the bottom half is gone. But anyway, I think I need at least another 2. And, you know, it's just me and the cat here. I don't need, and some of the furniture is old. They were kind of, I got them on a discount from somebody that's getting rid of them. Right. Yes. Okay. We're just going to do that again. And move over there. Preferably without forgetting what I just said. Which I believe I can handle that. So yeah, Jim, I really do want to be able to produce a book on my languages someday. And I say someday literally because, you know, I'm not going to be ready for that in the immediate near future, only because I still got a lot to do. But think about it, you know, I figured out and built the structure, and I know you already said congratulations on it, so, and I get it. I really built the structure. Well, in one case, I copied the structure, but I built the structure for 3 languages, one whole language family. I felt like once I had one and that was properly worked out, and then I could look at what other languages in the family do and reasonably consider what each one would do based on, you know, a lot of the world building. It made it a lot easier. Yeah, of course, like copying one system makes it very difficult. But also, once I have an understanding of that system, it feels like it becomes a lot easier to do the other ones, because then it's like, oh, okay, I get all this now. But interesting thing I did, and you will probably appreciate this, Jim, is once I had, like, say for Arabic, I actually had it worked out according to their, like the one that was going to be heavily based on Arabic. I had it worked out in their exact way of doing their forms numbered and everything. But then I found a better way for me to list out how verbs are conjugated and declined, and also just in the case of the pattern system, like how I could list them for my own reference. I put too many dots there because I forgot what dots I was doing. You know, just for my own reference and how to find what I was looking for each thing, I built my own system or my own way of listing it that honestly works a lot better for me. So even though I understand the system as it is, I broke out of the system to list everything in a much more, for me, intuitive way. And then that helped with the other languages as well, because then they were just done, you know, in that sense. I mean, they're still, I wouldn't say done, you know, there's still like nouns and adjectives to work out, but the verbs were really what were messing me up the most. And now I have those systems in place. And part of the reason is because the root pattern systems usually are not just in sentence structure, but they're verbs first in everything, you know. They don't have an infinitive. It's like the most base form of the noun is usually third person past tense. So I needed the verb system first. I feel like I should do more of the lines on this. This paper's looking a little too beat up, but it's what we got. It's what has been intended for this. I don't know. At least it's in black and white. My hair just hit me on the eye there. Okay, whatever I had done with this last one, it worked perfectly. So what we did was, I think looks like I took a quarter off of each side. Ooh, not quite. Hey, what happened there? Oh God, that's really confusing now. What did I do? Well, it looks like it was 8 and 9 in the middle. 2 1/4, which means I went up 3, right? I don't know. I'll figure it out. 8 and 9 in the middle. Maybe I'll stop there. I don't want to drive myself nuts or drive anybody else nuts having to watch this. The unfortunate part is I haven't drawn it all today, so until now. I was setting up stuff. I was working out my backdrop because I have some improvements to make for my convention appearances, including improvements to the including improvements to the way that prints are hung. So I got a whole bunch of new toys today and was playing around with it. I think the prints are going to hang a lot better. Kind of sick of working on the prints. Not gonna lie. Only because, like, books are the main thing, but I'm still trying to get my convention table to really stand out when people are at those shows. I want people to pass by my table and think that they have to buy something from it. I know that sounds terrible, but it's not usually the way I operate. I'm not usually an attention getter or I know it's terrible to say. I hate saying stuff about myself. Oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. But I feel like it's kind of necessary, so I kind of gotta let it. I don't know. I gotta fan that flame a bit. All right. So anyway, I think I missed a couple of comments. Oh no, I didn't. It was just yours. Oh, thanks. I figured you would like that because I know you encourage the creative part of it, which I think is very important. I just needed to come at it with a, I needed to come at it first very, I don't want to say studiously, but very, well, whatever. And then, then move on to, my own system with it. Yeah, like in fact, I feel that the system's developed enough that, let me put it this way, Jim, and this is a big breakthrough for me. I feel like the system's developed enough where if there is something that is not in the system now, it can be later adopted into the system by some other means, Like I feel like I have the verb tenses and all the forms that are going to be there. And if I decide the language wants something else from outside of its base, I'll figure out how that happens later. It doesn't need to be there now. I feel like, okay, got that. I was able to build the Duero system on a set of threes because I really like that idea. I like that idea of like everything with them being extremely structured. Like almost just forcibly having to be, a certain way. And then the Egyptian one is a little bit more free outside of that root pattern system. So that one, I don't want to say I'll have the most fun with it, but that one will have as more creative ways of going about it, because obviously it becomes a Semitic language, but the original speakers spoke in a agglutinative language. And I am having one alien language that's kind of based off of Sumerian. So that one, even though it's also a agglutinative, that'll also have an effect on that Egyptian language. So just based on who the native speakers of it are and how they come into contact with that culture. So yeah, a lot of borrowing can start. In fact, some borrowing already did start to happen, only I misborrowed something when I was making the translation. I forgot that it was something to express an emphatic mood, but it was only an emphatic negative, so I have to take it back out. But at the same time, I was like, oh, well, the borrowing's already happening. I just couldn't see it switching its meaning. Reduplication, right? Reduplication is something that's going to feature at least dominantly in the Egyptian language. So that's fine. I can still use that for an emphatic. The other two systems won't have it. So, they're going to have their idiosyncrasies outside of the normal parts. Anyway, yeah, so, but putting in all the moods and everything, because, well, now we're getting a little technical. I say that every time before I start going on this long thing about what I'm doing with the language system. But yeah, it seems like a lot of languages just go verbs decline for tense, aspect, and mood. That's like I guess, the holy trinity that shows up the most often. I'll probably just use that system across all of them. It's just easy. I don't have to think about it too hard. There aren't too many natural language systems, especially within the families that I'm working with, that don't do that. So yeah, basically what I did was I changed the way I structured the nouns, the verbs by tense, aspect, and mood, figure out what of each of those they do, and then how that is shown. The nice thing about some of these languages is they don't have all that, what is that called? They don't have the same conjugation systems that a lot of Romance and Indo-European languages do. So I don't have to get super detailed with how they do it, because especially with the pattern stuff, some of it's patterns, some of it's suffixes and prefixes, rarely infixes. So yeah, it's come along good, and I'm having fun with it, which is the most important part. This, on the other hand, I'm very nervous I'm going to mess it up for some reason. I think this is what always happens to me. If I'm not working on a piece regularly enough, I start getting jittery. Like, oh no, don't make the wrong move on these. I don't know why it happens, but I guess I do. I got too far away from the piece, and then it causes all sorts of havoc internally. I feel like this one should have come together really quick. Yes, an open system with built-in adaptability. Yeah, because obviously at some point a language might decide, coming into contact with another language, as often happens, they might need a way of communicating certain ideas that they didn't need before, certain ways of saying things, and in which case they're going to, have to use that. A lot of Semitic languages have the jussive case, that was interesting to learn about. So I'm going to borrow it, even though a lot of them don't use it, but I have ways of using it. And then Dwaroish has this idiosyncrasy where it's the same as the past tense, but you can't have jussive in the past tense anyway, because it's kind of like an imperative. So it splits off differently in the other ones, but that's also the only one that has a future tense. The other ones don't. I think I've said that before. But yeah, no, I like the idea of them being able to. That's part of the reason why I got to work on so many at the same time, Jim, is because I want there to be this melting pot effect that happens with a lot of them, which on one hand, it means I really have to build out the systems for whatever their origin was, and then I can let them start having these crazy effects on each other. And that's why it's like half borrowings, half creation, half whatever strikes me at the moment. Lady, oh, big yawn, right on camera. Everyone saw it, but they didn't smell the fish breath. No, they did not. No, it's okay. It's okay. I need this. Oh. So yeah, each of the families will have a bit of that going on, as you say, like an open system with built-in adaptability. just because it'll be necessary to a certain extent. And because, later down the line, if I miss something, I don't want to go into an absolute panic about it. I want to just be like, well, this is the languages. This is what I decided. Yeah, I can borrow this. Interesting is going to be like the history of when some of those words and things come into a language, because I could even have this even gets crazier, right? Where a certain character could be speaking an older form of a language because it doesn't have certain features then. But then we really get nuts. All right, lady. I would like to attempt to confidently go and ink this right now. Gonna take a seat finally? Yeah. Okay. That's preferable right now. You knocked my paper on the floor though, so I need a new one. These have been sitting around forever. It's going back a while ago, but while I'm working on these, it's reminded me I did this one piece. It was just, I wouldn't even say a practice. Well, it sort of was a practice piece, but I decided to do it in acrylics. It was like this Estus flask from Dark Souls, which is it's this drink, kind of life-giving drink in the game, but it's in a glass kind of bottle. And even though I did it in acrylics, I really impressed myself with how I painted the glass in that one. I didn't know I knew how to paint glass that well, so it's kind of changed the way I even ink glass, because that had just come out so good. I still kind of remember how I did it. Which was just layering dark and light areas, because even though there's some semblance of light source on glass, of course, there's a little bit of randomness, which is kind of what I like doing which is kind of like how I like. I don't know why I'm so tongue-tied today. It's kind of why I like drawing fire and trees, because there's a certain amount of freedom and unrestrained, just chaos to it. A little bit of order, but you can kind of do what you want to a certain extent. And yeah, glass, I finally found, has a similar way of being. Part of the reason I'm also nervous to mess this up is I have a friend who is really, she likes my work, and she has expressed that she wants to potentially buy this original once it's done. Besides the fact that I want to make a print out of it and put it in an art book, I don't want to mess it up, because if my friend decides she wants to buy it, I want her to get a good piece. But I should probably just work on it the way I would work on anything, because she's a fan of the way I work. So, if it's not, I should just do it the way I would normally do it, because that's what she likes. Right. The thing is, originally I was just going to throw this whole background in shadow, and then I started having second thoughts about that, which is always a bad idea, guys. There's a certain amount of freedom you want in a piece of artwork, but I may have said this before. I had a student that used to change their art midstream, mid-piece, and it never resulted in a good it not that it wasn't good. I should say it always looked like it was two different pieces, because you could tell at what point he decided to change his approach. The biggest problem with this one, if I could say there was a problem at all with it, is that because I decided to go the coloring book route first and scan it and erase all the shadows I had on it, and got rid of all my guidelines, and all my original intentions kind of went out the window. The thing is, I could put this in shadow, but for some reason I'm not sure that one should be. But then again, that one is, and that one is, so it just kind of makes sense that it would be. That's a different light source, which will only have a minor effect on this. I don't know, I'm still kind of nervous about doing it, though. It's going to be like the longest. This thing's been sitting so long just waiting to be done. And yet its sister piece there has just been sitting there. And then this one, it's just taking forever to be developed into a finished piece of artwork. Huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God, I feel like I got brain fog really bad today. Not that I was operating like that all day. I don't know. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm really overthinking too much of this. Like I do a lot of things. I'm getting stuck for some reason. Some very odd odd fusion. Anyway, I wish I could share it, but I did when I was working out my back banner, I did a color rough of it on the computer, which looks pretty good, I think. Maybe. Because I do want to have a new image behind me. I don't want it to just be all prints, which is part of what I'm working on too. I don't know what I am doing. Oh man. Yeah, see, I think that does make sense. All right. I'm going to get brave now. We're going to get brave. That's how artwork is done. I still feel like I need to work around the clock on stuff. I think I can't take a break to enjoy too much because I got a insane level of work to get done. Nice thing is there's freelance work coming in more and more and more. It's one of those things where, the old rule that writing begets more writing, and it's kind of that way about everything. So kind of the more you're doing something and out there, and it just seems like more falls into place. It's not necessarily a matter of time as it is consistency and time. But yeah, positive effect on everything. So Jim, if you're still here, I know you got that talk coming up this month, right? It is, I believe it. You said it was. No, wait. Am I thinking of the wrong weekend? I thought that I thought it was this month that the Conminders convention was happening. I was just curious how your end of the preparations was going. And also how much you're looking forward to it. Maybe it was next month. Why do I feel like it was April? But if it's April, then it's mid-April, so it's still coming up fairly soon, I think. I really wish I could have been there. I'm starting to see some of the shortcomings of my schedule right now. There's a lot of freedom in it, but also when it comes to certain things, there is not a lot of freedom in it. I am still on camera, right? Yeah, okay. I've just noticed sometimes during my whatnot streams, I'll veer off of where the camera is pointed, and then somebody can't see what I'm doing. I guess that's a little far out, though, isn't it? Maybe we want to be a little closer. Maybe. I don't know though. I don't like when days like this happen where I haven't touched any artwork until I start the live stream. Typically, and you know, I should say ideally, and yeah, typically lately, because I've been a little bit better about sticking to my schedule, I should have already had a few hours in on art before I even got to the stream. But generally, I'm very happy with how my schedule went last month. So I shouldn't complain too much about that. What is happening? Sorry, I'm just like my mind is just going into brain fog. Okay. Oh, okay. It is March. Wow, and it's the 11th one. Yeah, that's the weekend I'm at Monster Mania. So yeah, I hope the hope prep is going good for that. I'm actually there's a lot of reasons to look forward to Monster Mania. It's a really good show, and I'll at least be seeing a few people that I see often enough, I guess, but it'll be good to see them again. Sorry, April. Oh, okay, it was April. So then, no, that's the weekend I'm at Trenton Punk Rock Festival, which is now the New Jersey Punk Rock Festival. Or I'm sorry, I say festival. It's not Punk Rock Festival because that sounds like it's a music thing. It's the New Jersey Punk Rock Flea Market, formerly the Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market. That's also a very good event, at least for me. Some of the same people, but just some of the same people. That's true. Just different months, different city too. Because Monster Mania is in Cherry Hill. Wow, an hour passed already, and this is all I got done. I should kill that cat for this. No, never. I shouldn't even joke like that. I love that cat. Man, I just feel, I don't know. Like this should all be a lot easier right now. Painting and inking this, I just shouldn't be struggling so much with it. Yeah, here I am. Some of those should have been darker to begin with. Just because it's a black cat, even if that is hair. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm just doing work and redoing work because I didn't get this done in a timely manner before. I think I said it last year that it was a very big black and white year. Or did I say that this year was starting out to be a very black and white year? But I know I said it at one point. And yeah, it does seem, no, it was last year, definitely. But this year, too, seems to be starting out with a lot of black and white. Although this will get colored. I just, there's a serious amount of inking that's happening with this, which would not necessarily be the case. Perhaps under different circumstances. Right. That is a lot better. What do we got over there? Jeff Bridgestone came by for a second, and I guess it's gone already. Maybe. Yeah, I'm really just, I don't know. Like my brain just does not seem to be working. I don't know. I'm like losing track of thoughts. I promise I'm okay. I am physically and, mentally doing just fine. I just, I don't know. I seem a little flustered at the moment. In fact, to that, health-wise, I'm actually making a conscious effort to take a little bit better care of myself because, again, I'm already falling into the habit of not eating well on the road. And I've been better about exercising. Exercising every day, but working out a couple times a week again. And even though that's going well, it's not enough to counteract some of the poor choices on the road as far as like what I'm eating. So yeah, I just got to be a little bit more careful. God, why is this seemingly so hard? for me to figure out what I am doing with it. It just feels like I'm being so careful rather than intuitively going through this. And, like I said, I'm kind of redoing work and going back over stuff that I shouldn't have to. Oh, no worry, Jim. I'll be here for the next hour at least. But yeah, I'll catch you next time. I'll be on next week. I think it's later in the month that I might skip a week, but I'll let everybody know before it happens. Take care. Have a good one. Talk to you the next time you're on. All right. Okay. Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is taking a lot longer than it should. I'm forcing myself into that original idea because it just might help me stop overthinking this. We're not going to change the course. This was all planned out fine. And I'm not going to overthink it. Oh. Right. Drinking too much seltzer. I got a little bit of burps. Oh man. Really should have been using this the whole time. All right. Oh God. Okay. All right, because that's the ears. Good thing I didn't do that. All right. Almost painted right over the ears. Dun, dun, dun. If I went that way. Yeah, might be actually. Okay. Might be leaving that open on that one side. Yeah, but that means that it's definitely the whole back. Okay. Which works out very well. I should be going a little thicker with these strokes. I don't know why I haven't been. All right. But then, yeah, we don't need that on the back. This is all the stuff that I should have previously done. I was probably too nervous to commit. Between the cat's hairs and mine, my nose got itchy. Um, dun, 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 dun. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, but I'll do that later. Sorry, just talking to myself about what I'm going to be doing next on this piece. No, I guess not. Back onto this.
Okay, everyone. Well, it seems like it's been a pretty quiet show today for some of it. And I seem to be struggling with where to go with this next. So I'm going to call it quits for tonight. Hour and a half. It's a little short, but I've been doing some longer ones. I'll be back next week, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, for another one. And if you're in New Haven, Connecticut, come down to the Gothic Market at the Omni Hotel at Yale. All right. And yeah, otherwise, see you next time, or see you at Monster Mania the following week, whatever happens. Anyway, take care, people. Thanks for coming by. What am I doing over here? Trying to find my music. At some point, this will be going away because, again, I'm going to be leaving the Facebook Live thing for just full on YouTube as soon as my, what is that, StreamYard account, the, what is this called? My subscription ends. So that's going to be the end of June. So just make sure you're aware of that. I won't be doing Facebook Live anymore. It'll just be YouTube. But that's still a few months away. Anyway, have a great night. Take care. See you next week. Bye.